Okay, so we've already talked about the Maya and the Aztecs. Okay, so the Maya were here, the Aztecs were here. Today we're going to talk about the ancient ancient Incan Empire, which is this green, and you can kind of see the extent of it here. This green um, civilization here. So this one is extremely long and skinny, and we'll find out why in a, here down the line. But there's a major mountain range that runs here, the Andes Mountains runs along here, and so again they use that as protection, much like some of our other civilizations we've learned about using the mountains as protection. Um, but that kind of makes it this long and skinny empire here. Okay, this is the ancient Inca. All right, so um, the Inca were around similar time that the Aztecs come about. The Inca do as well, from 1200 CE to about the mid 1500 CE, and they are along, like I just kind of said, they're along the Andes Mountains in South America, kind of on that western edge of South America. The capital of the Incan Empire was Cusco. All right, and the most famous city from the ancient Incan civilization is Machu Picchu. Okay, and this is a picture of Machu Picchu. Okay, and you can see kind of how the city was laid out. A goal of mine is to go here someday because of the beauty of it. It's right in the mountains, and you can obviously see it there. The mountains are your backdrop, and just to see no one lives here anymore in this area, obviously. But you can kind of see some tourists down there, just to see the impressiveness and the extent to which these people could build this massive city without major tools and without the things that we think of today. They were able to build this stuff, and it's just really impressive. Which is why, again, the Mesoamerican civilizations are some of my favorite, is because of this and because of how they were able to build these things and make these well planned cities and design them without some of the same tools or machinery that we have today. Um, it's just really impressive. Okay, the major accomplishments of the Incas were they had paved roads, and these roads were even better than the Roman roads. Okay, the Roman roads were basically pieces of stone that were formed to look like a road. The roads uh, in the ancient Incan Empire were paved. They were truly paved roads that were easy to travel along, and this allowed for extensive trade. Okay, the nicer the road, the easier it is to trade. This late in civilization, they would have had wheels and things that they would have been able to use. And so you can transport more stuff and you can trade more things, which means more money, and you can control the different cities then. Okay, with it being so long and skinny, all right, you need, like, that's a long way from here all the way down to here. But you need to somehow control the whole empire. If you're the leader, you need to figure out how to control things, and roads help with that because it allows you to easily get from one place to another to check up on that area if you need to. Okay, they had the first mail service. They had storehouses for surplus food. This is similar to ancient India. They had storehouses so they could store their excess food. They too made many crafts. Again, the surplus food helps a lot. That way, if you ever have a bad growing season, then you're not screwed, right? Your civilization isn't dead and starving. You have the excess food that you can kind of dish out. They too were interested in crafts and bringing those to market to sell. The Inca made many advancements in terms of medicine, and also the language that they use is still in use today, which is pretty impressive that it's still around. Okay, um, again, here's a kind of picture of their roads. You can see how they're made out of stone and paved, and you can get easily to a temple, or even you can see as you kind of go back throughout the hillside here, you can see the different roads that are that are out there, or you can imagine where they might be, and how that is that is very helpful to transportation. Okay. Um, Here's kind of a map of the road system. Whoop. You can see here the blue and the red are the main roads. Okay, and then obviously you can see the connector ones in between, but it can take you legitimately all the way down from one end to the other, and it can you can easily get from the coast towards more of the mountainside with these extensive roads. So roads are extremely important, and the Inca do it really well so that their society can be successful with these roads. Okay. The decline of the ancient Inca, um, in the mid 1500s, the early 1500s, two brothers, their father dies, and he leaves power, or he leaves the empire in their name, and they disagree on who should really be the emperor. And so they try and claim two different halves. So they kind of split it almost like right here. And one controls, and they try and say, well, one will control. I'll take the top half or the northern half, and you can take the southern half, but that doesn't work. We know from Rome that when multiple leaders try and take power, that leads to decline, and that never works. And so both become increasingly power hungry, and they create a civil war. To then, and each side tries to fight and overtake the other, and it ends up destroying the empire. Thousands of people die. Um, it weakens them so that when the Spanish explorers come and discover South America as well as North America, the Inca are weakened from a civil war, making it even easier for the Spanish to take over. And so they decline in the mid 1500s. Okay, that is the Inca for you. Hopefully you answered all the questions well, and enjoy the rest of your day. You've got one more thing to complete that's on Schoology, but then you're done. So have a great rest of your day, and let me know if you have questions.